Tommy Robinson is back in the news today after yesterday the announcement that he was going to be released early from prison because he has seen the errors of his ways and he's accepted he's accepted his punishment, I suppose. But this isn't just about Tommy Robinson, though he has ever occupied central stage. It's the strange ballet being performed around him by our legal institutions and media outlets. And in the space of just 24 hours, we've witnessed the British justice system announce Robinson's early release and then today, so about 30 minutes ago, fresh criminal charges. It raises a rather pointed question. Is this the result of clumsy administrative timing, or are we witnessing a sort of theatre in which Robinson's notoriety is being quietly fed and maintained? Let's begin with the facts, such as they are, and one has to tread carefully because he deserves a fair trial. On Tuesday, Robinson, his real name Stephen Yaxley Yennon, was granted early release from an 18-month prison sentence. He'd been imprisoned for contempt of court, having repeatedly breached an injunction forbidding him from defaming a Syrian refugee, Jamal Hizaji. And that injunction followed his high-profile and unsuccessful defence against a libel case in which his false claims were comprehensively dismantled in court. But even before the ink had dried on news coverage of his early release, Wednesday brought a new twist. It brings an entirely new dynamic, as the Crown Prosecution Service confirms new charges against Robinson for the harassment of two journalists. He's accused of causing them fear of violence, with the alleged incidents dating to August 2024. So his court case is set for June the 5th. And let's not forget, he also faces another trial in October next year, this time for allegedly refusing to give Kent police the PIN to his phone. And the juxtaposition of these announcements is, to put it mildly, bewildering. In what sane institutional framework does a man's release from prison get publicised on one day, only for fresh charges to be unveiled the very next? Either our justice system is chronically incapable of joined-up communication, a worrying state of affairs, or there's something more cynical at play. Consider the optics. On Tuesday, Robinson is a wrongdoer receiving the mercy of early release. On Wednesday, he's back in the frame as a threat to press freedom. The headlines oscillate between martyrdom and menace, with the man himself as the fixed point of public fascination. Whether by accident or intent, the institutions of law and prosecution are helping to keep Tommy Robinson in the spotlight, a place that he wants to be. And make no mistake, Robinson thrives on that spotlight. His entire political persona is fueled by the perception that he is persecuted. These successive announcements could hardly be better designed to reinforce that narrative. The oppressive state that wouldn't let him speak, the biased media that wouldn't let him rest, the elites who in his mind conspire to silence him. Even those who never dream of supporting him must admit the choreography of these events is oddly convenient for his brand, and that raises a broader question. When state institutions fail to act with coherence and discipline, they inadvertently foster the very populist myths that they are trying to suppress. The justice system is supposed to be transparent, deliberative, methodical. But this week's scattergun announcements look more like a tabloid sideshow. What's at stake is not merely Robinson's future, but the public confidence in the impartiality and the seriousness of British judges. How can you take this seriously? How can you take it seriously when British justice says, oh, today you're going to be released, tomorrow we're going to charge you again? Did they not know? Did they not know yesterday? And the Crown Prosecution's Service, its solemn reminder that Robinson has a right to a fair trial, jars slightly with the timing, doesn't it? Why broadcast these new charges with such theatricality so soon after his release was celebrated or condemned in opposing quarters? One wonders whether the CPS is doing its job, or playing some sort of strange cat and mouse game in the court of public opinion. We need to be vigilant not just about extremists, but about the institutions that engage with them. We need to have trust in our law. And Robinson is not a sideshow, he's a symptom. a symptom of polarisation, of broken discourse, and crucially, of a political system increasingly dependent on spectacle rather than substance, that delays and delays and delays. And then suddenly, 3 charges all come at once. It's like the buses. 2 charges anyway. 1 charge when you're with them. Yeah, you know what I mean. The justice system shouldn't be a stage for dramatic irony. It should be whether deliberately or because of mismanagement, it should be more respectable than this. It should appear it appears to be scripting a tragicomedy in which the villain always finds a way to stay in the limelight. If Tommy Robinson is to be prosecuted, let him be prosecuted properly. If he's to be released, let him be released. Let that act of procedural clarity be an act of clarity, not a public relations confusion. Anything less is not justice. It's... I keep talking about this. Pantomime. Real pantomime is done by professionals, not by these amateurs. Oh, for goodness sake, pantomime requires hard work, discipline, and appearing day after day. And we're turning Tommy Robinson into a pantomime character. We're turning the justice into a pantomime scene. This is not how we should be dealing with the law.